most people have two ways of creating a thumbnail. One, they hire some expensive artist to do it, or two, they spend hours doing it themselves. What I'm gonna show you in this video is how to create a banger thumbnail for your channel, for your ICP in less than 5 minutes using Nano Banana Pro. Let's go. Ho ho ho, let's get to it. So, what you're going to need to create a thumbnail similar to this using only AI and specifically using only Nano Banana Pro is one, a topic which we're not going to cover because you should already have this covered, by the way. You're going to need a master prompt. So for example, I use this one and all of the red text here is something you need to fill out for yourself because of course the AI is going to need some specific information about your video idea, the video topic, etc, etc. And then you have something called reference thumbnails, which I'll get to later. And yeah, specifically this prompt is just a placeholder for you to figure out what the AI is going to pump out. So for example, this is the one I used to create this thumbnail, but after I think 5 generations, I had to adjust it a bit and just saying kind of an issue I stumbled across was the lighting was way too weird for me. So it came to a mix of purple and blue, which I really didn't like. So I kind of had to tailor it a bit just to say like, hey, dumb it down with the lighting so it's more clear like in these ones. But yeah, once you have that, which by the way, all of the prompts, all of the assets, all of the examples I use in this video are all linked in the description. All you have to do is just click the link and you'll have access to everything. After you have the prompt, which you have because you're watching this video, we're going to need some example thumbnails of what you would like your thumbnail to resemble. Now, I have a swipe file of thumbnails which you can use, but I also highly recommend you find some examples yourself because of course my niche is probably going to be different from your niche, so just find ones you find suitable and use those. If you don't want to, or you just want to test this out, you can just use this one I use. And lastly, you're going to need some kind of pictures from your face. So for example, what I have is I have a master folder just containing all kinds of images and me doing different poses, different facial expressions, etc, etc. And yeah, that's pretty much, we have everything covered. Now, when it comes to actually using the prompt, how I'm gonna shortly break it down. What we have is we have the goal and the additional information. So an issue I saw first when I was developing this prompt was I first led with the goal only. So create a great B2B thumbnail or create a great B2C thumbnail. Well, how the fuck is Nano Banana Pro supposed to know what a great B2B thumbnail is? It won't. So we need additional information to kind of compress it so it knows what a great B2B thumbnail is. So for example, a role. Your role is to do this task in this specific way so that it produces this specific outcome, you know? Then we have the constraints. So this thumbnail cannot contain more than 5 words, or this thumbnail cannot have overly LGBTQ looking lighting, like for example in this example. And with those specific alterations to the script, which are super essential, I came up with the prompt, which it works for me. But once again, I'm gonna reiterate, this most likely is not going to work for you 100% of the time because you have to make your own prompt. But once you do, it's gonna work for you, of course. But yeah, here's everything broken down, and of course this is also linked down. And I'm also sharing this kind of document where it contained everything I went and covered in the prompt, just so you can for yourself create your own prompt in case this one doesn't work. But yeah, let's get to actually creating the thumbnail. So before I mentioned example thumbnails, I took three specific ones which I really enjoyed. So for example, this one from Eamon Arab's recent video, I specifically enjoyed this MacBook at the right hand corner of the screen. But what I did not like was the camera. I didn't like the facial expression, of course, because it needs to be my handsome face in it, not Eamon's. So, for example, you can see this is just a copy of the prompt, and you can see it has what you like about specific examples. So, for example, in the prompt, I told you to pick, for example, three examples. What I liked about example one, I like the monitor placement, which I would like to include with just the Nano Banana Pro logo and the text in it. So that's what I would like. I want the AI to include this. I want it to exclude everything else. For example, two, I wanted it to maintain the text, which I found quite good, the professionalism, and the lighting. So, for example, for this one, I just went with the text font and the lighting. And the third one, I really enjoyed these these icons of new followers, but I wanted to replace them with the YouTube logo. So that's what I included in the prompt. And like I said before, the first 5 batches were shit in my opinion. The quality is good. I look super good as I do always, but it just doesn't look this year, you know? It doesn't look B2B. It looks kind of weird. The lighting is fucked up. I'm wasting a ton of space here by just being in the middle. It says start. It's just weird. Now this one is a bit better. The lighting is still very fucked up, but it has the YouTube logos. It has the MacBook, but it's just not, flowing. Now this one I enjoyed quite a lot. It has everything I asked for. It has the YouTube logos. It has the MacBook. It has the text, but it's not placed correctly. So once again, I had to kind of adjust it. Now this is more natural. It doesn't have that fucked up lighting. It doesn't have these weird computer icons in it, but it's still very. You can tell it's made by AI essentially. Then I made the specific adjustment I was talking about previously, where I said get rid of the lighting from this and just maintain the text. Because what I saw is this has LED, whatever these are called, LED light strips or whatever. So the AI tried copying it, but without the strips. So it came to this kind of weird blend of purple and blue, which I really did not enjoy. So that's all. I just told it to get rid of the lighting and just make everything super clear. And this is what it came up with. This looks better. I look a bit fat in it, but it's much better than, for example, this one. Then all I did was I just ran it again and told it to make the fonts much bigger. So I think I said 15 to 20%. Then it made me a full-on skinhead, and this is much better. I really enjoyed this, but it made me look very weird, and it just wastes a lot of space. It's way too simple in my opinion. Then it did it again, but in white, and then we come to the actual good stuff. I told it to not adjust my face. I told it to make the thumbnail more natural in the sense that it doesn't waste space. And then it came up with the two best ones. We'll cover this one later. Then it came up with the two best ones, which was this, which I of course ended up using, but just set to replace this with the Nano Banana Pro logo. And then this, which I'm most probably going to use for another video. But these two ones were the combination of probably 10 minutes of just saying, get rid of this, don't adjust my face, make the text bold. And now, with these adjustments, I came up with these two, which are, in my opinion, great thumbnails. And all I now have to do is just copy this prompt, paste it again, give it the new idea, give it the new examples, and it's gonna run it again. And most often than not, it's gonna take about 5 minutes. And of course, I already have this. So essentially, what I could just do is rerun this again, but just say remove any mention of the Nano Banana Pro, and it's gonna produce 10 thumbnails similar to this, which I can just use in my next videos. So that's pretty much it. That's how I created this banger thumbnail, and most likely, if all goes well, I'm most likely going to create the rest of my thumbnails for the rest of eternity using AI, because why on earth would I pay some guy close to $100 to $500 every single week or month, depends, on thumbnails, when I can just have my idea, have my topic, have my examples, have something I like, and within the span of 5 minutes have 5 to 10 of these kinds of thumbnails, which I could just boom, boom, use. Why would I pay someone to do that? And hopefully this is going to help you as well, because what I find most irritating is sending my ideas to my staff. So for example, if I have an editor, or if I try doing something myself, I find it very annoying to try to dig my brain and try to coerce my ideas in a precise and concise way so that someone else is going to understand them. But with AI, I can just take my idea, take what I think about it, and show the AI examples of what I like. And it's gonna end up giving me a end result which is 90% of what I like. Rather as to when I pay someone, they give me something, I have to revise it over and over again, and then I have to pay them more to revise it. So, in my opinion, this seems like the better option. But yeah, hopefully that video helps.